I'm in medical school, and I actually started medical school September of 2013. I needed something that was going to kind of balance me out. So before I got to medical school, I would hit the gym and go hard all the time and whatnot. But where I went to school in the Caribbean, it wasn't really a gym really you could go to. It was kind of just people working out outside. It's hot in the Caribbean. So a student's wife was certified to teach yoga, and she just started having the classes in the afternoons. So twice a week, something like that. She would orchestrate the classes, and she would just start teaching them. So at first I wanted to get like an idea of what yoga was. That was my first time I ever did yoga. I did cheerleading and gymnastics in high school and undergrad. So I was fairly flexible, decently strong, but yoga, when I first saw them doing the poses, it was something that, it was a little intimidating at first. So I waited like probably a whole semester and a half to get to actually make it to the class. But that's what got me into it at first. People talked about it was very soothing, kind of calmed them down from a whole day's worth of courses and classes, and it was a nice transition between being in class, sitting down all day, to, okay, now I can figure out what I'm going to study. So I kind of used it to really, relax, get my mind together, and move from there. And then I found that it was actually quite enjoyable. I've only been practicing for, I would say, a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Around this time last year, I got introduced to a different type of yoga, and my instructor, I really took a liking to her, because it was challenging in the fact that you were doing, these long, beautiful poses, and at the same time, it was the cardio. So I was like, I don't have to, go to the gym and, lift weights and do cardio and that. I could just do yoga, or I could just do this type of yoga, and that kind of meshes them all together. And then what really got me into it was I saw people who looked like me, similar size, a little darker skin, and they were pushing themselves to, get into these poses and balance poses, strength poses, and I was like, if they can do it, I can really do it. And then I developed it was almost like a challenge, kind of something like you try to do like crow, or you try to do headstand or something like that, and you just completely, just destroy the pose. You can't do it, and it's just not a good looking thing, and you see yourself progress. So I like that progression. I like that challenge, because yoga tells you, you might not be able to be where you want to be right now, but that doesn't determine what you can be in the future and how you can push forward in the future. So that's what really made it more of a practice versus like, oh, I'll just do this every once and again. When people first look at me, they're like, oh, she might be good, she might not be good. But then it's like when I go in crow or I do handstand, it's like, oh, she's not bad at all. And it was very noticeable, I would say, when I went to another studio earlier this year, and everybody there was, I first walked in and they kind of looked at me like, okay, she might do some of the intermediate or the, entry-level poses. And I came in, that was my first time doing crow by myself, and I tried to work on one of the inversions or something like that. So I really say it's like the shock value, because you never know how good you can be until you push yourself. So that's one of my favorite, aspects of it. You can really give it your all, and you can see some results. I would recommend it to people just because it's not something to be intimidated by, and I think that's a reason why a lot of people won't come. They'll say, oh, I'm not flexible, or I'm not strong enough. Like, they'll make up any excuse not to come. But I would challenge the person to, even if it's something that you think you're not going to be able to do, why not give it a shot? And yoga gives you that ability to give it a shot. And I feel like if you can give yoga a shot, why can't you give something else a shot? Give it a try. So it kind of like mentally prepares you to, relate things that are challenging and just trying them, giving them a shot, and relaying that to other parts of your life. The people that you get to practice with, I think it's fun to see how far they come and how you guys can push each other and, really get each other to that goal pose, or really get each other even to like a goal stretcher or something like that. When you're with a good class, that's the best part to me, because I feel like you can always go home and practice by yourself, and yeah, that's fun, and you get to see where you are personally. But when you see the same person week in and week out, and you see how far they're coming, they see how far you're coming, and it's just like a nice celebration. You get to meet tons of people from tons of different walks of life, and that's I would say that's my favorite part. Practicing yoga off the mat is more so when it comes to schooling per se and my studies, because like one of my yoga instructors always say, they'll say, you know, maybe start at a simple pose, then you take a break, and then you go back to that same pose and see if you could sink a little deeper, or see if you could push yourself a little bit farther. When I'm studying and, you know, I start off, you know, maybe reviewing some material, if I take a break, then see if I could go back, study a little bit longer, push a little harder, you know, focus a little bit more. You know, that kind of, I guess, you know, relates to my studies and whatnot in school. And especially when you get tired and you don't want to study anymore, you don't want to go to the hospital anymore, you just don't want to do anything anymore, because medical school takes over your life and it's forever. You know, it's like take a break. And then when you go back at it, see if you could push a little bit harder. I would say it means to dig somewhere deep in yourself and come up with something that you never thought was possible. Limitless expectations is what it means, because it's not for, it's for anybody, for any walk of life. Anyone can do it. But when you put those limitations on yourself, that's when it becomes something that's not for you, or something that you can't do. So that's what I think it means to be a yogi.